What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of Melanated Thought, where we talk about things that affect the black community. I am Reggio.
And I am Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady she is, people.
Thank you.
Ooh, wrong one.
What?
Oh, man, the wrong one. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Wrong sound effect, y'all.
Production.
Sorry about that sound effect, y'all. Anyway, we have a pretty interesting show today. It's called The White Insurrection, His Story. Now, the reason why I call it that is because everybody's talking about the insurrection that happened in January. That wasn't the very first insurrection that's happened here in the United States.
Right.
Okay. We have a very historic insurrection that happened called the Civil War. Same premise. People were pissed off about what was going on with the government, so they decided to go against the government and do their own thing. So if that isn't an insurrection, I don't know what the heck is. All right. So anyway, I just want to go ahead and get it started off real quick. Before we say how your week is going and all that good stuff, I want to go ahead and get something out of the way. We lost another great, y'all, in hip hop. For those of you who are hip hop heads and everybody that knows me knows the fact that I am. We lost Biz Markie on the 16th of this month. For those of you who don't know who Biz is, you know, he was very famous for this song right here. This is one of my favorites. This is how I got introduced to Biz right here. This song right here. So it's a funny song, man.
Hey mom, what's for dinner?
You already know.
Pick a winner. Hey, hey, oh, hey, hey.
Not right at the sun or sweet like sugar, but it's rather on the buck tip and it's called
Pick and Burger.
All right. For the longest time, Biz was sick. And everybody in the hip hop community were all by his side and everything because they knew that, you know, he wasn't doing very well because of health issues and whatnot. And finally lost his battle.
57 years old.
Right.
Remember this slogan. Hey mom, what's for dinner? Go out your nose and pick a winner.
Picking boogers.
Hey.
I love that song.
Me too. I know the premises, you know, but I love that song.
Right. You know, he was labeled the clown prince of hip hop, which he was, you know, because Biz would, you know, if you ever been to a Biz show, and I have, he will snap on the audience and have snapping contests against anybody that wants to go up against him. And, you know, in the words of Biz, nobody beats the Biz.
That's right.
So, anyway.
R.I.P. young man.
R.I.P. to Biz Markie. So, anyway, you know.
We losing a lot of the greats, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, man. We are. We lost quite a few greats in hip-hop here lately. A couple of them through natural causes, and the other ones were, you know, stupid stuff.
Right.
But, you know, still we lost them nonetheless. But at any rate, we have this right here, this subject right here, the insurrection, the white insurrection history. And we already know the history of white people. They are, you know, for the most part, a violent group. And we all know this. Whenever things, I can honestly tell you this, whenever things are not cool with them, the first thing they do is start tearing shit up. Now, when black people do that, it's a problem. But when white people do it, they're being revolutionary. Go figure. So, but anyway, let me go ahead and get this music cracking so we can go ahead and get the show started. Give me a minute here. How was your day, babe?
It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good. Not ready. I'm not. Just good. I ain't even talk about it. But glad to be here. Glad to see another day.
Yeah, I think we all are, man, because of with everything going on.
So much is going on. I know we brought it up before, but, you know, COVID is back on the rise. You got to wear your mask. Well, I wear my mask anywhere I go anyway. But now they're asking... Well, it started in Austin. I saw it on the news that Austin has been mandated to start wearing masks in public. I don't know if Old Abbey is going to make the Dallas-Fort Worth area do it, but we should. And that's another thing I want to add. This is off topic, but hey, you heard something called monkeypox? What the hell is monkeypox?
This is a new one on me.
Now I heard of chicken pox, but what is this monkeypox stuff? I'm like, man, every day is some kind of disease that's killing us. But everybody just do your due diligence and take care of yourselves and take care of your health the best way you can.
Right. I mean, you know, it's to the point now to where every time you turn around, there's a new disease out, and it's all biological warfare, y'all. I mean, yeah, I got my tinfoil kufi on. I'll go ahead and admit it. I'm a conspiracy nut. You know, that's just me. So, but yeah, I got my tinfoil kufi on, and yes, it's a conspiracy against America in general, not just black people, but America as a whole. So, and yes, it's biological in nature, and I think it's biological warfare that just got out and they're testing it out on us to see how it goes. And once they figure out that it's very effective, then they put it out on their enemies. That's usually the MO of the United States. And normally what they do, and you know, and I'll go ahead and keep my tinfoil kufi on when I say this, they'll test that stuff out on who? Us. And by us I mean black people.
Yep, that's how it normally go.
Yep. So, you know, I'm not surprised if
And then, you know, they got that new strain, the Delta strain, that's will be stronger than COVID.
Yeah. People are still, even with the COVID shot, are still catching it. You
but
know
you
what I
and
mean?
I was talking about this the other day, how we know people that has taken either the 2 shots or the 1 shot, but then turn around and got COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing here? Do I need to take the vaccine at all and take a chance of getting COVID, or not take a chance of getting COVID? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
You know what? That's one of those situations where it's a catch-22 situation, basically. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But now they're saying a lot of people are catching it now. The people that's catching this strand of Delta are the ones that's not vaccinated.
Right.
But that's not true, because like I said, I'm a news nut and I would get the news the other day.
Yes, you
And
guys.
they said a lot of people that is catching it true are not vaccinated, but some of them are vaccinated with either the 2 shots or the Johnson & Johnson 1 shot. And so what's the theory of them getting it?
That's a good question. That is a really good question. So if anybody has any answers, we would love to hear them, because
Definitely. Especially if you've taken it.
especially if you've taken the shot. I mean, you know, because that's letting me know that taking the shot was kind of pointless in the first damn place if you're still catching it after you take the
That's
shot.
what I'm saying. What are we even doing here?
Well, what's the point even taking it?
Yeah. Well, I would like to give a shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Bucks, give them their flowers, man. They are the 2021 NBA champions. Oh, Giannis got the MVP award.
Yeah.
But I'm crying tears because I really wanted Chris Paul to
You know
get
what?
it.
We both did, because I like Chris Paul.
I like Chris Paul. Only thing bad you hear about Chris Paul, nothing. He got those cute little State Farm commercials. He been with his wife since they was college sweethearts.
Right.
He does a lot for the black community, the black culture.
Yep.
You know, he's in his 30s, so I wanted him to at least get one, you know.
Yeah, get that one ring before you bow out, man. I mean, go out with a bang.
Because he fought hard for it. He was hurt, still played. But shout out to Giannis and the team. You know, they did their due diligence and they got it.
Yeah.
Got Milwaukee won. It was so funny, too. They haven't won one in 50 years.
Yeah, I know it.
And Giannis put up 50 points.
Come on now.
Crazy?
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that is.
Man.
So shout out to the Bucks. Y'all did it.
Yeah, you did your thing. You did your thing. I mean, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, you are the...
I'm not going to be a hater. I'm not a hater.
Oh, no, I'm not a hater either, you know, because...
I tried to hate a little bit. I tried.
Well, Giannis is a freak of nature anyway.
He is what they call
I give credit where
big
credit is
freak.
due.
Oh, yeah. He
That boy is
I ain't gonna
bad.
lie.
That boy is cold, man. You know, I give credit where credit is
couple more
due.
years, I think he gonna surpass all these LeBrons and these Kobe's, and I don't know about Michael.
You know what I like
though.
about...
He might not touch Michael yet.
But you know what I like about Giannis? He's not a crybaby with it.
Oh no.
You know, that's what I like about Giannis. I mean, he's not like, you know, LeBron. You know, I'll go ahead and say it. You can say I'm a hater of LeBron if you want. I don't give a damn. Call me that. But you know, LeBron's a big crybaby. You know, I call him Sir Flops a lot myself, because like you can just barely touch his ass and he flopping around on the damn floor like you hit him with a Mack truck. So, am I lying?
No, he keep tissue up his sleeves.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. That's my whole point. Now, I'm not knocking him. That's on the court. Now, off the court, I love LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, because he does some big things within the black community, and I love that about him. You know, so I'm not knocking. Oh yes,
he got
exactly.
A school and everything.
Exactly. That's kind of where I was getting at. You know, because he does a lot of good things for the black community, and that's beautiful right there. That overshadows his flopping around the court. So, but off the court, I love LeBron. On the court, I can't stand him. But anyway, congrats Bucks.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Bucks.
All right.
Y'all
so how
good.
was your week, darling?
Busy as hell. That's all I can say. Busy as hell. You know, so, and it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, which that's the nature of the beast when you're an IT geek.
That's right.
So, you know.
All right, moving on to these books.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You got some
yes,
good ones for us this week?
You know what? I have something new that I got put up here. Check out this splash screen, y'all. So for those of you who got that little delay in your stuff, man, check this out. It's coming up any second now. It's got one of my heroes on here holding the book and discussing what he's reading with one of his disciples. I got this thing up called Books Every Black Person Should Read at Least Once. So, you know, and that's my little splash screen whenever I come up with this subject. That's kind of cool, right?
That's dope, right?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of cool, right?
Look at you.
Yeah, buddy.
Boy, that IT degree, boy, look at that.
Come on now. I'm doing big things with it. That's dope. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, I got some pretty good books this time, man. I got the first book I have is one that I talked about before. It's called White Racism, A Psychohistory by Joel Covell, you know. And this basically talks about how racism started. And we already know that white people invented racism. Because as far as everybody else in the world knew, you know, they didn't really see the differences within the races until white people started pointing it out. So anyway, this is a really good read. It's only like 300 and some odd pages. You can read this within a week. I know I can. So,
you know what fascinates me about books like this?
What's that?
Aren't they written by white people?
Yeah, most of them are. That's the funny part.
That boggles my mind.
But I'm glad you said that too, because most of the books I have on my list are written by white people.
Yeah, that sounds like everyone you put up so far is
written by white people for the most part. Yeah,
it's a white person.
But the exception of the Black History books, of course, you know. But still, you know, most of them have been written by
white racism.
Right.
It's about written by white people.
But think about this, though, babe. Who knows more about racism than white people?
Well, they act like they don't know when they do something stupid.
Oh yeah.
Did I call you boy? Well, I should not have done that.
Exactly.
Oh, you gonna play dumb, but you just wrote a book about it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's that. But anyway, White Racism. That's a pretty good book, y'all. It's a pretty quick read, so definitely go pick it up. Book number 2, America in Black and White by Stefan. I'm not going to try to butcher this name. Thernstrom and Abigail. Stefan and Abigail Thernstrom. I'm sorry, a husband and wife team. And of course, with a name like Thernstrom, you already know what color they are. So, and they looking at everything from a black and white perspective. This book, when I read it, when I saw the title, I thought, it'll be a quick read. Let's go ahead and check it out anyway. So I checked it out, read it, and I pretty much enjoyed the book. It's a really good read. It's exactly how it's stated. It looks at America from a black perspective and a white perspective.
One nation indivisible.
One nation indivisible. Yes, indeed, man. So definitely check this book out. You won't be disappointed. It's a pretty good read. Okay, and book number 3. White Fragility. Why it's so hard for white people to talk about racism. Well, I can tell you why it's so hard for them to talk about racism.
Why?
They have a guilty conscience.
I would say guilt complex.
That's all it is. That's an easy answer to that question. And there's Robin DiAngelo, white lady. So definitely a good book. There's a foreword in this book by Michael Eric Dyson.
Really?
Yeah. So definitely check this book out, y'all. You won't be disappointed. It talks about how difficult it is for white folks to talk about something that they created.
Don't you hate it when they be like, I shouldn't be held accountable for what my forefathers did?
Exactly. But you still benefit from it.
Absolutely. So that's why you driving that car?
Yeah, exactly.
Working where you working?
And living in the house that you're living in. Come on, man. Because there are certain neighborhoods that black people can't go to. Why? Exactly. Because white people don't want them there. So, But that's another subject for another time. Okay. Here's another one. This is written by a black man right here. The Shaping of Black America by Lerone Bennett Jr. Good book. Really good book. It talks about the African American experience from 1619 up until the 1990s. And once you pick up this book, it gives you the from the beginnings, from when the first black people got dropped off on the slave ships, but actually black people were been here before anybody. So it touches on that to a certain extent. Then it touches all the way back up until like 1993, 1994. Now Lerone Bennett Jr. is famous for writing another book called Before the Mayflower, where it talks about how black people were here before anybody. And this is completely documented and is proven, and people are starting to see that now. So, but anyway, that's another book for another time. But this one right here, The Shaping of Black America, it's a really good read. But you will not be disappointed with this one either. Pick that up. You can pick it up you can pick most of these books up on Amazon.
Right.
So, here's another one. Another book that every black person should have read at least once in their lifetime: The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. If you have not read this book, I read this book in college.
I'm running through my mind. Have I read that?
I read this book in college because when I was growing up in high school, it was kind of a hard book to find. So once I got up in college, I actually found the book and read it. So yes, this is definitely a good book to read. Definitely a good book to read about a very great man. Frederick Douglass was the Malcolm X of his day. He played no games. Last but not least, this is a new one that I picked up here recently, written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's called Black Profiles in Courage.
I read some excerpts of that. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Kareem did his work on this one right here. I love this book, man. Because it gives you like a profile of a whole bunch of great black people like Douglass, Carter G. Woodson, Sister Rosa, Sister Harriet. Angela Davis, a few other people. And it's a really good read. It's a really, really, really good read. So definitely check these books out, y'all.
The one that I kind of gravitated to, he interviewed Spike Lee.
Yes.
I love
that was a good one.
At first I thought Spike Lee was so corny.
Spike is actually intelligent.
But people just like I thought Kareem was just another basketball player.
Kareem,
but he's really
Kareem, just like Muhammad Ali, was a really good friend of Malcolm X.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he converted to Islam.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Kareem ain't no joke, man. Just because he could.
Oh yeah, the other night we was talking, you said he had another name.
Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
That was his name before he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So yeah.
That's why I say don't judge a book by its cover. I thought he was just another tall basketball player.
Of course not. No, man. You should never judge a book by the cover, especially something like that. But well, that's all the books, y'all.
Cool.
Okay, what we got for? And here's another splash screen that I did, man. Y'all see it popping up in a minute for those of you who have that delay. It's a nice one. It talks about what we're getting ready to do right now. So hold on, it'll pop up in a minute. But yeah, there it goes. Come on.
Boy, you need to go call that education. Call me like, look at this education. It's education. Nah, that looks good though.
Thank you.
Look at you building up. I love it.
Yeah.
Got that pink in there. I see you.
Yeah. I had to have that pink in there, man. Because I had the pink in there, I was gonna get in trouble.
Gonna be your ass. But nah, that looks really good. I like that.
All right. So what we got for current events?
Upgrading the show. I like that. Yeah. All right. Here we go. I have some more.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. Same old, different day.
Of course.
You sent this one to me, and I thought it was awful. A black woman was awarded, $300,000 after being injured by a Virginia officer during a 2015 arrest. 2015.
Right.
We are in what year?
2021.
Yeah. A Virginia jury has awarded a black woman $300,000 after she was forced face down on the pavement and injured by an officer. Her name is Monica Cromartie.
Okay.
Sued Pittsburgh police officer Brian Lee Billings for excessive force and false arrest stemming from a February 2015 traffic stop. If you can see those pictures of how that man, oh my God, her face was all busted, her lip was busted.
I saw that. I saw that. And that happened, 6 years ago?
And she just not getting some type of justice.
And all she got was $300K?
$300K.
That's it?
That'll do it. That's not enough. First of all, my question, what took so long? No,
there's no
if
telling.
you have pictures of this woman sitting on the ground, lips busted, blood dripping everywhere, you think she did that to herself?
Well, think about this right here. If people have read the autobiography of Malcolm X, Malcolm's father died because his father was laid on a railroad tracks, and his feet and his head was completely cut off. Now, according to the insurance people that would not pay out, he did that to himself. They called it a suicide. Now, mind you, his hands were bound. So if they can say that Malcolm's father did that to himself and it was suicide, they can also say that she did that to herself. They can say that.
Well, this is the thing, though. This is like another George Floyd situation,
Right.
because he put his knee on the back of her neck,
Right.
placed her in handcuffs,
Okay.
and leg shackles. As he searched her car, he discovered a vaping device and claimed that it contained marijuana residue. Not marijuana, but marijuana residue. Like maybe she had just finished smoking, and maybe he saw one or two little stems in there. But even so, does that constitute you putting your knee on her neck and pretty much dogging her face in the ground to smash her face in the concrete?
Last time I checked, the vaping device, you can't put anything in there except vaping oil.
No, you can put, they got some you can put the marijuana in.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't vape, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just still stuck on the part that this happened in 2015. And do you think this is justice? I mean, 300,000. Some people might think it's a lot. I personally don't.
That's not. No, man. That's a slap in the face.
Because he bust out her tooth as well. I don't think that's not even half.
Yeah, I saw her face, man. She was all busted up.
Yeah,
She been in the ring with Mike Tyson.
He did her bad.
Yeah, he did. He messed her up pretty bad.
And here's another story. This is a black 16-year-old. She was ignored after telling Baton Rouge officer this is a young man. A black 16-year-old young man was ignored after telling Baton Rouge officer he has asthma as he kneeled on his neck. Now this is a child, 16-year-old young man. Officer put him in his knee on his neck, and the young man kept saying, I have asthma, I have asthma.
Okay, so this young man, he has asthma, and he's being arrested and manhandled, basically. Now, we all know I have asthmatics in my family. I'm quite sure you do too. When they get excited, what happens?
They get overexerted and they start breathing real hard.
They start having an
it's
asthma
hard for them
attack.
to start, to catch their breath.
And they start having an asthma attack, right? I can pretty much guarantee you, since this young man was being arrested, this is what was happening to him, and he couldn't catch his breath.
Right. He probably was already nervous, 16 years old.
Exactly. He was nervous. He was getting stopped by a police officer, and this police officer manhandles him and puts his knee in his back, and now he's really excited now, and he's having an asthma attack right there on the spot. And this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, baby.
But what's so fun about this story? He wasn't even driving. He was a passenger. He was a passenger in the city. He got manhandled like a piece of meat. Yeah.
So he wasn't even driving. That's even worse.
And again, this is an old story. This happened in July 2020.
Okay, does that remind you of another famous story where somebody was a passenger? Philando Castile?
Orlando, yeah. And his family is filing suit because they feel like they haven't gotten any justice from the police department. I don't understand this. It's on film. They actually recorded this.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the video.
You know the video's from the police officer, the little camcorder they wear.
So it's from the body cam footage?
It's from the body cam footage. And so
Wow.
you see it right there. So again, my question is, what's taking so long for justice? Yeah. I don't get it. Like I said, unless you got it on film. Now you got it on film and they still not even trying to give you any justice at all.
Right.
And here's one that's kind of, it's related to the story as well. But it's kind of weird because it was one of their own. A former St. Louis officer sentenced to 4 years in prison for severely beating an undercover cop during a 2017 protest.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
And this is just common justice as well. Randy Hayes is 34. He faces up to 10 years in prison for taking part in the beating of Detective Luther Hall, but he will only serve 4 years in federal prison, where the defense attorney had asked for 70 months. Did I say that the young man that he beat was one of his own fellow officers, but the thing is he was black? Yeah.
That really shouldn't surprise anybody.
And he was working undercover, so he didn't even care. I mean, okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So if y'all work for the same force, will you know him? Obviously not. And then obviously you didn't know who he was. You just saw another black man and commenced to beat him.
Well, here's what I've been told by a few former police officers that were melanated.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me flat out that when you have the uniform on, you're part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But the second the uniform comes off, you're part of the problem.
Oh wow, wow.
And I've heard that from more than one black cop.
So what they supposed to do? Walk around with their suit on all day?
Exactly. So you're part of the team once you have the uniform on. The second you take it off, if you're black, well, you know the rest.
Well, I think he needs to get more time.
I agree.
But luckily, this young man wasn't killed. This black man wasn't killed. He was just severely beaten and bruised and severely attacked.
Well, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You know that. I mean, come on. How fair is that?
Definitely. And especially by one of your own. Oof.
Yeah, but one of your own people, man. Come on, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you go? Why would you? Wow.
Now they're attacking their own.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving right along. We have more.
A man gets new hearing as transcripts show judge complained when the defense attorney questioned why black potential jurors were dismissed. And the reason why? No reason for starting this black thing was said. Because they want to know why did they remove the 3 black jurors off of it was 6 potential black jurors were dismissed. And they tried to make it, don't make this a black thing. It's not about that. So you answer the question, why were they dismissed without probable cause?
Then if it's not a black thing, then what the hell is it?
That's what I want to know.
Last time I checked, a person is supposed to be tried by a jury of their peers. Now, if I get caught and put on trial for whatever reason, and my jury is all white people, those aren't my peers. I might as well just say, give me that cell right there, officer. I'll be cool in that one.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you already know if you're a black person and you get tried by an all-white jury, the chances of you getting a fair trial are astronomical.
0%.
That's why I said astronomical.
Less than 0%.
It's a negative, a negative 1,000,000%.
I don't get it, brother. I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if it's
don't
not
start this black thing. Well,
if it's not a black thing, then what is it then, bro?
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And here's another story that's just, they're getting out of control. They're just trying to, they always have taken over, but members of a Florida-based white supremacist gang who use corrupt law enforcement officers to do their dirty work has been brought up on charges. But the thing is, how did you even know that these cops was dirty? You want to know why?
Because they're part of the organization.
They trying to become a part of it's called the Aryan philosophy.
Yeah.
And the name of the group is called the Unforgiven.
Yeah.
And you're a police officer and you trying to become a part of something like that? Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing about that. This really shouldn't surprise anybody. It doesn't surprise me like one little bit.
But you know what they have to do to become part of the game?
What?
Extreme acts of violence.
Oh, really?
Really? Is that all it takes?
That's it?
Oh, okay.
So all you gotta do is go and fuck shit up, and all of a sudden you're in the group.
So it seems like in this situation, somebody got the big head and somebody started squealing like a pig. And could bring these 3 men up to justice because now they're going to jail.
I wish I had that Teddy Pendergrass song queued up right about now.
Which one?
You can't hide from yourself. And that's exactly what happened. He couldn't get away from himself. And his guilty conscience got away from him. That's all it was.
They want me to do this. They want me to do that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. In the streets, we call it bitching up. And that's exactly what he did.
Yepper. Okay, here's another story that's related between you and Paul. Hope he's in the chat room today.
He is.
Hey, Paul. Africa's largest independent comic book publisher lands film and TV production deal, seeks to educate audiences on the positive global influence of Africa. Because I know you guys always talking about black comics and black superheroes. So do you think the white culture or the nation in general is ready for this?
Well, first and foremost, let me just say this real quick.
About time, yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it.
I mean, they had Black Panther, but after Black Panther, what is it?
Well, see, think of it as there aren't very many black superheroes out there.
Right.
Let's just be honest. I mean, if there are some black superheroes, they don't really have their own titles. I mean, the first black superhero to have his own title strictly to himself was Luke Cage. And that came out in 1973.
I know it out.
Yeah, that came out in 1973. It was called Luke Cage Hero for Hire. Now, the Black Panther predates Luke Cage because the Black Panther made his debut in 1966.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but he debuted in a book called Fantastic Four. All right, and then after that, he had his own kind of sort of his own title. It was his book called Jungle Action, but it was Jungle Action featuring Black Panther, Jungle Action featuring Alan Quartermain, stuff like that. But anyway, Luke Cage was the first black superhero to have his own specific title.
Okay.
Little bit of a comic book history for everybody out there. But anyway, I'm all for it. And Paul made up a really good point, and he said this is the reason why I love the X-Men. And we all know that Stan Lee created the X-Men because of the civil rights movement. Okay, because Professor X was his interpretation of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Magneto, who was the bad guy, who wasn't really a bad guy, was his rendition of Malcolm X. They both had the same goal. They just had different ways of going about it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Okay, because if you actually read the X-Men, they're called mutants. And a mutant is a human with extraordinary powers. All right. So, and the mutants are ostracized or hated. Mutant go home. Mutants don't belong here. Sound familiar? But anyway, that was the thing about them, and that's why Stan Lee did the X-Men. That's why I'm a big Stan Lee fan to this very day, because he actually did that and talked about it. Nobody else did that but him.
Well, under this project, the first project planned on this agreement is a female film adaptation of Areti, Areti, the story of a university student in Ibadan, Nigeria, blessed with superpowers, and she will be the first African female superhero.
Cool.
Kudos to that.
All right.
Can't wait to see that. I
know.
know.
That's gonna be pretty cool.
I know he gonna make me go with him. So I might as well get ready.
Yeah, she knows.
Here's another story that kind of baffled me a little bit, because you don't really hear about him a lot. Dion Sanders. Dion Sanders fires back after reports that he abruptly left the SWAC Media Day interview after being called by his first name. Now, when I went in and did the research on the story, he had just told one of the reporters, "Don't call me by my first name," because all the other men that was up there, he kept calling them Coach. But when it came to Dion, he kept saying, "Okay, Dion, okay, Dion." And so they said after he warned him, "Don't call me Dion." So he went on, asked some other questions. Then he came right back and called his name Dion. So Dion got up and left. He said, to me, the interview was over. So they called Dion and said, "Why did you leave abruptly?" He said, "I didn't leave abruptly. He kept disrespecting me by calling me by my name. He didn't call nobody else by their name." And he said, "Please don't allow a fool to fool you." What are your thoughts on that?
To Brother Dion, because he's absolutely right.
Stand your ground.
He's absolutely right. They gave everybody else their props. Give Dion his props.
I've been saying you done did your due diligence, and you are a coach of one of the top Jackson State University Tigers football teams, they have an outstanding record.
Yep.
And you won't get your title being coach. They kept calling you Dion like you were just, I mean, you know.
They was doing that on purpose.
But that's why I said too, he was trying to be funny.
Yeah, they were doing that on purpose. They was doing that to Dion on purpose. They didn't care because they kept on calling him that because they was getting a rise out of Dion. They knew that. Now, me personally, I would have just told him one time.
He did. He called one time, then the next time he called, he said, I'm done with you. On to the next. On to the next. That's disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful, but you know, they don't feel it that way. And now Dion has a title of being an uppity nigga.
Well, call him what you want to.
Exactly. He has that moniker now. He has that moniker now. I can pretty much guarantee you that's exactly what they're calling him now.
He's bougie.
Yeah, calling him bougie, uppity, whatever.
You know. Can't call him. Gotta call him by what he want to be called.
I can tell you right now, back when I was teaching Kung Fu on a regular basis, now I used to tell my students all the time, when I'm on the street, I'm Reggie. That's what you call me. Call me Reggie. When I'm in this when we're in here training, I'm Sifu Parker. Sifu means teacher in Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you call me. Call me Sifu Parker when we're in here. On the street, you see me out and about, see me in the mall or whatever, I'm Reggie.
Right.
But in this studio, I'm Sifu Parker. So
what would you do if they call you Reggie in the studio?
I have them go sit their asses down somewhere. Don't call me Reggie. Call me Sifu Parker right now. I'm your teacher now. That's what I'm here to do, to teach you. And I've had one incident where this little, you know, you already know what color he was. This white dude, he was 17 years old. He was trying to learn Wing Chun from me, and he kept on calling me Reggie. No, Sifu Parker. Reggie. Sifu Parker. Okay, get your ass. Respect me, then bye.
He can even understand the commands of the you know.
Yeah. So, you know, and so I never saw him again after that because he's being a dick, but that's okay. I still got your money.
You took his money and called him a dick. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another story that's...
Hold on, just for a second, buddy. Paul said, if we're going to take the time to recognize individual pronouns for people and address to be chosen gender, then address to be chosen a certain gender, then we can address people for the way they want to be addressed. And that's exactly the point we're trying to make, Paul. That's right. Exactly the point we're trying to make. So yes.
If I warn you once, don't call me Dion. Give me my
give him his props.
Give him my props and call me Coach Sanders. Right. Either you call me Coach Dion. Give me my moniker. You're right.
Yeah.
But he just kept calling him Dion.
He was doing it, like I said, he was doing that on purpose to get a rise out of Dion.
Definitely. And here's another story about reparations, which I think is just another attempt to put everything on the back burner.
Yep.
California, of all states, has launched a task force to study slave reparations. My question is, what are we studying here?
Exactly. That's just like the HR 40.
What don't know?
That's just like the HR 40 bill.
Exactly.
That's exactly what this is. This is California's version of the HR 40 bill. They're going to study to see if black people actually need reparations. And then based on that study, what kind of reparations do black people need?
And of course, old Governor Gavin Newsom is part of the task force. Man. He said it's going to take 2 years.
That long, huh?
2 years to address the harms of slavery.
2 years,
and systematic racism.
How long did it take for the Asian bill to get passed?
Not less than a year.
Less than a year, right?
Less than a year.
But it's going to take them at minimum 2 years.
The reparations been going on how many years now? I know over...
The reparations bill has been on the docket since Frederick Douglass.
That was in the 1800s.
That was in the mid to late 1800s.
Yeah. Why they keep getting these task force to study something that everybody knows about? They know that it is due. Just in the words of Nike, just do it.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. What's the studying for? What else do you need to learn about it?
In the mid to late 60s, early 70s, when there was a bill brought up to give reparations to Israel, billions of dollars a year. There was no study for that. They just went ahead and gave it to them. Right. When there was when the bill was brought up to give Asian people, most specifically Japanese people, reparations for bombing their island down to the ground, there was no committee. There was no committee appointed.
They just cut the check.
They just cut the check. Exactly. Now, since this Asians have this anti-Asian, this Asian hate crime bill out there. Did they need a committee for that?
Seems like it.
They didn't need a committee for that at all.
Seems like they don't need a committee for anything unless it comes to
when it comes to black people, they need a committee. Well, we got to see if there's a need for it. I tell you what you do. Go to Pleasant Grove here in Dallas. Go to the east side of Oklahoma City. And you tell me whether or not black people need reparations. I can tell you that because I grew up on the east side of Oklahoma City, so I know it's needed. Much needed.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of programs that could be useful there.
Definitely.
There's all kinds of housing assistance that could be used there.
Definitely.
And more specifically, cut that damn check.
Well,
break off some bread.
I guess they just don't feel like that it's needed. I guess they don't see it. They don't see what others see.
They can't see things from
the lawmakers.
Well, they don't want to see it. Only time they want to see us is whenever they need votes.
They got the dollars and they got the blinders on until it's time to vote. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Right.
Yeah, when it's time to get out there and re up that vote. Now I see what you're saying.
And you see what I'm saying? Then do something
I'm
about it.
gonna do my due diligence to get that done.
And then when they get in office, well, I'm trying, but
right. They keep blocking me and blocking me.
Whatever. Yeah, messing with that bull crap. But anyway.
Now here's a story I hope Leslie is listening because I really want to get his opinion on. An Alabama lawmaker uses racist slur in recorded council meeting. Now he is getting a call to resign. Yeah. I'm trying not to laugh, but it's just getting apparent these people don't care. They don't take their sheets, their robes, everything off, and they just come in full face. Don't even care. City Council member John, quote unquote, Tommy Bryant, stood up in the middle of the Monday night council meeting and pointing at a black councilwoman and saying, "Do we have a house nigga in here? Will she please stand up?" So everyone in the place gasps like, "What? What did he say? Why was that even necessary?" And one person busts out and said, "He is a racist. He's unfit to serve." I know Alabama has a long way to go. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about that. A lot of white people, more or less, have cozied up to the KKK way of thinking and living down there. But when you in a council meeting with other black people, you just gonna show your whole racist ass in front of everybody. But then you gonna call a house niggas. I don't know. If that was me, I probably would have acted like the Tasmanian devil into that whole room. I'd be like, "Who are you talking to? And you pointed at me too?" Yeah. I haven't heard anybody interview her to get her opinion, but just the thought that he did that. Ugh.
Let me say this real quick. If that were me, I'm not going to act a fool inside the building. I'm sitting by your car. I'm standing by your car.
You gonna catch me outside.
Now, yeah, I'm one of them catch me outside type of people. Okay, all right. You know, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna respect the workplace, but you know, I'll tell you what you do. Meet me outside in a few minutes. I'm standing by your car when all this is over. Now, what was that comment you said to me? Where's the house? What? And as I'm saying that, I'm whooping his ass. Plain and simple.
Well, her name is Juanette Bonham, and the reason why he asked her that because she had asked him a question of why is his wife always using the word on some of her Facebook posts. And so I guess he got a little perturbed. Yeah, got a little perturbed and said, "You house nigger."
Well, it's a valid question. It's a valid question because he's supposed to be in the public eye,
upstanding,
and that's just like. And that's just like if somebody saw something that I posted on Facebook, they're going to say, Mimi? Reggie posted something on Facebook that was kind of, you know, blah, 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 blah.
I've heard that when we talked to your cousin, we went to Oklahoma, she talking about, yeah, Reggie be. And I'm looking like, he be saying, what now? Oh, my. But she said you be doing it in good spirit, like it's not like negative or anything. So.
Of course not.
I didn't even know you post to Facebook like that.
I do, man, because like I said, I've been in Facebook jail so many times.
Yeah, this is what we talking about Facebook. I say it's a jail for it?
Yeah. That's what we call it. You know, what they do, they suspend your account for X amount of days. We call it being in Facebook jail. But yeah, you know, but still, man, that's come on, man. Really? You gonna okay, all right.
I think he say he's not a racist. He's just speaking his mind. But when he was talking about the LGBTQ community,
folks.
he said LGBT whatever. He couldn't even refer.
That's why I said alphabet people, because there's so many letters.
So do you think he should lose his seat, his councilman seat?
Well, first of all, what's his name?
Tommy. They call him Tommy, but his name is John, quote unquote, Tommy Bryant.
Okay, Mr. Bryant. Let me just tell you this: is he a judge or whatever? What's his proper title?
He's just a
councilman.
A councilman.
Okay, councilman. What now?
John Tommy Bryant.
Okay, Councilman Bryant.
City Councilman John Tommy Bryant.
Okay, Mr. Bryant. Let me just tell you this:
Alabama, Tarrant, Alabama.
To answer your question, yes, you are a racist bastard. Plain and simple. And I hope this podcast gets to you in some form or fashion. Yes, you are a racist bastard. Don't think for a second that you aren't, because if you weren't a racist, you wouldn't have said that shit. Am I correct?
To me, yeah, I think he has a problem with everybody, because kind of find out Miss Bonham she goes as non-binary, and that's with the and so her final word to Mr. Tommy was, "We are not the Mayberry community." I guess she's talking about Andy Griffith.
Right.
The people here try to make us out to be who identifies as a non-binary woman.
Right.
We aren't black and white. We are a full rainbow.
Right.
And that's just my street.
Okay.
Well, is she taking up for
it? It is what it is. But
why you not saying nobody who calling you a house nigga?
He called you a house nigga, which means obviously you're black.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just it right there. So you being non-binary, you're basically selling yourself out by not acknowledging the fact that he called you a nigga. So you're denying your blackness by being non-binary. So I disagree with that 100%. I mean, if you want to take up for the alphabet people, go around ahead and knock yourself out. I don't care. But don't ever deny your blackness. I don't give a damn who you are. That's why I hate when people say, "No, I'm not black, I'm human." Okay, we know that. A pit bull is a dog, but still a damn pit bull.
Right.
I mean, damn.
But the mayor of this city is black, and so he has also been accused of calling the first black mayor a little boy. So I think I think he's just embedded.
He just
racism.
a dick. He just a racist asshole.
Yeah, definitely. It's all up in him and can't come up.
There you go. There you go. Like the old folks would say.
Yeah. Here's a story that's kind of, I don't know how to take it, but because you and I had this conversation, I also shared it with my sister. Because you were saying black people can't be racist.
Right.
And so here's it's a couple of white parents who are upset after a former teacher launches a black math genius program for black students only.
Okay.
So some of the white parents got upset and called her a racist. You think that's possible?
No. I wish Leslie was on here. I really do, because Leslie, if you're on here, please get with me on this. That's not a bad thing.
Well, why are they feeling like that is a threat, though?
It's not a threat. It's because, see, white people can have all these organizations that don't include black people. That's okay. But the second a black person has something like that that's remotely similar to it, all of a sudden there's an issue.
It's a threat. I feel like it's a threat.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, with me, and Leslie can tell you, I ain't just blowing my own horn. I was really good at math. So was Leslie. There's, like I told you before on previous podcasts, there's two people I know for a fact were better at me than math. Leslie's one of them. Okay? Now, with that being said, whenever I see black people doing good at math, I give them props, because that's the one thing that a lot of black people have issues with, especially here in the United States. They have issues with math.
And that's why I was just going to say that is one of the reasons 15% of her cost is going to create this program, because black students have issues with all facets of mathematics.
Exactly, and that's the reason why she did that. It didn't have anything to do with her being racist against white people. They just said that she was racist just so they could justify sometimes stupid.
And she said she did it because she wants to see additional or more black students or black people to get into the STEM program.
Right.
Just what is
right.
it? Science,
exactly.
Technology, mathematics. I forget what the E is for. Is it environment? I think.
I think it's either economics or math.
Economic,
I
but
think it's
this
either, or electronics, one of the two.
But that's one of the reasons why she said, because you don't see enough black faces in the STEM
And
field.
you don't.
And
You really
have
don't.
to know math
You really don't.
to get in that program.
So
But how they gonna call her a racist though?
easy, because white people aren't involved.
Oh my God. Can't have nothing, can't do nothing. Now we racist against ourselves. That's crazy. To me, it just sounds like a threat.
Paul brought up a really good point. He said if it was for students with low grades, income base, even if it was all black, no one would say a word. He is absolutely right.
Yeah, but do you think this is a version that some white students' parents are trying to say, see, this is what we mean by critical race theory. It's not needed. I don't think it has nothing to do with critical race. I think it's just a black woman who took her own money to to produce a program to assist black students, so they can get involved in the STEM program. What? Yeah, moving on.
There you go. Exactly.
Y'all gonna have to something don't look good in their favor. They come up with the weirdest analogy. Oh God, she's racist because she done produced. Oh my God. Okay, so here's a story you sent me as well, and I kind of felt like, wow, it kind of caught me off guard. The DEA denies active agents were involved in assassination of Haiti president, but confirmed one suspect was a former informant of the agency. So the USA is all up on that, huh?
I told you.
Yeah, you did say that. And I was like, what they got to do with over there? But here we are right here. They saying they are involved.
I said it. Did I say it?
You said that. The day it happened, you said that. Yeah.
I said this reeks of the United States. This has the United States fingerprints all over it.
But why though? What do we need from Haiti? What do we need to have anything to do with Haiti?
If you recall, a couple of podcasts ago, Leslie said that very same thing. There's something over there in Haiti that somebody wants.
He did. He sure did. Yeah.
Okay. So I agree with him, because why would you assassinate the current president of the current ruler. I'm going to say leader. He's not a ruler. He's a leader. The current leader of Haiti.
Yeah.
There's something over there that's wanted over there in Haiti. Don't know what it is, but there's something over there. Could be anything. Could be crude oil. Could be. Okay, Marvin said he'll be in a minute. It could be anything. It could be that there's. I don't know what it is, but there's something over there in Haiti that some government wants that they don't want to pay for.
Yeah, they did say once they broke into his home, one of the gunmen did holler out and say DEA. But what the DEA?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Why would the Drug Enforcement Agency be over there in Haiti?
Because they was already suffering. Like every time a Caribbean hurricane or a tornado comes out, the city just get towed up, and they still haven't recovered from the last one, so they're suffering over there right now. Like I saw an article the other day. At this point, they just looking for good, clean water.
That's all they're looking for. They're not looking for much. Well, like I said, there's something over there in Haiti that they either want to cover up, or B, they want to rape the land for it.
Yeah,
there's something over there.
Well, that's an investigation I want us to stay on top of, because this is not making sense at all.
I agree. But like I said, I told you before that it has the U.S.'s fingerprints all over it, and I was right.
Crazy. Well, here's another story that's there's a video out of a man meaning a white man, New Jersey man, Cagney Matthews. He was caught on film, camera, tape, however you want to say it, yelling at his neighbor, calling his neighbor the N-word. At this time, another neighbor had called the police, and the police drove up on the scene, and so he got all belligerent with it because he saw the police officer was another white man. And so he kept calling him a nigger, monkey lover, nigger, eating bananas, nigger. And so the white cop bust out and said, "Just cut it out, dude." Is that racist?
What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man, here's the thing with that.
I do know he got some big balls.
Here's the thing with that. And I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. That reeks of racism. Because that black people have been enduring that since day one.
But you know what's so funny though? He felt like he can do it because he was standing on public ground. What?
Oh, I gotta give you a word for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I can step up my door and be like, "Hey, are you nigga?" Oh no, I'm a nigga. No, I'm not a nigga. No, I'm not a nigga. I don't know if another person call you. I know you do. You get offended when somebody calls you a nigga. Yes, I do. Yeah. I don't know. Will I get offended? I don't know. I ain't really thought about that. Well, but I know it's another race got me one. Be like, what the?
Which is why I don't understand why black people can use that word. Yeah. I mean, I've never understood that. I mean, if a white person calls you a nigga, you're ready to kill him. Yeah. But if another black person calls you a nigga, you think it's cool. No. Ain't nothing cool about that word.
Yeah. I used to have it bad calling, especially me. I used to go, yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of people did. I mean, back in the day, I was notorious for using that word myself. But then again, I got knowledge of self, and once I got that, I said, okay, I gotta stop using this, and I stopped. I haven't used it since.
But now here, this officer said that this was not a hate crime. But here's another story of a young black woman who's facing prison time and a hate crime because she took one of the "Back the Blue" signs, and in front of a police officer, she put it in the trash. Yeah, and so the police officer felt like she was trying to intimidate him, and so they arrested her. And it told her that they're going to charge her with disorderly conduct and criminal mischief with a hate crime enhancement for her attempt to intimidate law enforcement. Now that is a racist just real.
Now here is my question. I don't know. Here's my question: is being a cop considered being in another race? I'm just asking the question.
They like they stand on his own. But this is the question I want to see. I want to wait and surprise. Where do you think of all the states where you think this happened?
Of all the states, if I had to guess, it's going to either be Florida, Texas, one of the southern states.
She's from Utah.
I gotta give you. Oh man, seriously, Utah.
And
Utah.
She's from California, but they had drove down to Utah, to participate in a protest, But yeah, this happened in it's called Panguitch, Panguitch,
Yeah, you said
Utah.
You said it right.
Utah.
So this happened.
Utah.
That's something you hear about in the southern states, on the other side of the Mason-Dixon line. And, that's something you hear about here in Texas. It's something you hear about here in Florida.
Well, here's the premise of the story. She was upset because one of her friends got into one of the officers. So she caught herself trying to defend her friend by picking up the sign and putting it in the trash.
So you're going to charge her with a hate crime.
And she's 19-year-old. Her name is Lauren Gibson. So now they finna put her in prison because she simply picked up a "Back the Blue" sign and put it in the trash. But this man was standing outside in front of everybody calling this man a nigger, a monkey.
So throwing a "Back the Blue" sign is considered a hate crime, but calling somebody a nigger is not.
Just another day in the neighborhood. Just another day in the hood. I'm living good today. That's all it is, boo.
Wow, that's messed up. Yeah. That is messed up.
The what does that little meme always say? It's the division for me. Why is it so divided? It's the same. It's not even on the same street, let alone the same premise. So how y'all doing giving this woman so much, and then that man just got a little, would you stop that, homeboy? Just stop saying it, homeboy. Dude, call him dude. Stop that, dude. Damn, that's crazy.
That's white supremacy for you, man.
I don't know.
Plain and simple. That's white supremacy for you, right there.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Alabama, so now it's time to talk about Texas.
Oh, damn. Here we go. This is going to be good.
The Texas Senate has voted to remove required lessons on civil rights. Yeah. The Texas Senate passed legislation that would end requirements that public schools include writings on women's suffrage and the civil rights movement in all social study classes. That's stuff like, stories like Susan B. Anthony and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and slavery. So they're going to try to remove it from the curriculum. know you are a big Black history, so I want to get your opinion on that. What is your opinion? I Have a Dream speech is done every year, so they said this will not be done, and it was going to be dropped out the classroom, out of the curriculum.
I'm speechless at this point.
What?
I really am, and the reason why I am is because of this. Now, I knew that Ironsides was racist as hell. I knew that.
Who?
Ironsides, the governor of Texas.
Is that what you call him?
I call him Ironsides.
Yeah.
I knew that he was a racist bastard.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because he's homies with Trump. He's swinging all on Trump's nutsack. Like Tarzan.
Like a monkey.
Exactly. And so now he just passed legislation to not teach anything that remotely resembles Black history in the schools.
Right.
Now, it's a whole bunch of racist ass white people that are cool with this. I already know that my conscious brothers and sisters out there, you included, are not happy with this. Why do you want to just, this is why I'm speechless, because I don't know where to start.
Well, another flip side of this bill that he's trying to pass, he's trying to eliminate a requirement that public school teaches that the Ku Klux Klan is morally wrong.
What?
But the same bill is dropping Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, I Have a Dream speech, women's suffrage, anything that does with Black history.
So you mean to tell me that
that's a slap in the face?
That's a kick in the balls.
Yeah,
okay, that's what that is. That's a kick in the crotch. Okay, so you mean to tell me that you're going to teach that the KKK ain't that bad of a group?
It's morally wrong. But erasing his slavery, I Have a Dream speech, women's suffrage, to me, history is being erased, and that's pretty scary. Let me put a stamp on that. Black history is being erased. And
there's a book out that I have in my library. You've seen it. It's called Lies My Teacher Told Me. Okay. Now it talks about how history has literally been whitewashed. In other words, they taking history and leaving out the Black people and just leaving what white people did to accomplish whatever they accomplished.
Right.
Okay. So this is pretty much what's going on here as well.
Yep.
They're eliminating Black people from the history books altogether.
Anything that does with Black culture. So when Lil Johnny and Lil Mary sit in the class, be like, I see all these white people in the history books, but I see Letitia here, she's Black, so where did she come from?
And children are going to ask.
Right, so what does the teacher say then? Out the sky. Now what they say, I heard this one parent tell, the stork brought her. She came from the stork.
I tell this story to people all the time. I tell the story all the time to people. I told it on several occasions. I told it on this show a couple of times. I was in the second grade. Had this teacher named Miss Fravel. And we were talking about history. We were talking about a little bit of history and whatnot. And we got to the point to where they were talking about slavery. They just briefly touched upon slavery. And so I asked my teacher, I raised my hand. I said, Miss Fravel, what were Black people before they were slaves? I knew the answer because I had read the books. And she told me without batting an eye, she told me that Black people have always been slaves.
Wow.
When Black people came here, they were slaves, and that's all there was to it. So
2 questions. What color was she?
You already know.
And was she old enough to know better, or young enough just did it, just got out of college and really didn't know?
I don't know how long she had been a teacher. I'm going to guess and say she had been a teacher for a while. You got to understand something. I was in the second grade at the time, so I didn't know. I was like, 7?
But you can tell like an older person. Like,
she was, to me, well, hell, when you're 7 years old, somebody in their 20s is older than you.
Oh, Lord. Well, okay, I see. You're right.
So, she wasn't old, but I knew that her and my mother was around about the same age, give or take a few years.
So at that time, how did you as a 7-year-old knew better than the teacher?
Because I read the books. I knew that Black people were, I knew back then that Black people were more than just slaves. We didn't just come into the United States and say, hey, I want to be a slave, and that was it. Nah, I knew it was deeper than that because I read the books. I had read the J.A. Rogers. I had read the Ebony Pictorial History of Black America. I had read those books before, so I knew.
At 7.
At 7 years old. My mother told you that. Come on.
Wow.
So I knew back then. I knew she was lying. I'm like, okay. I just left it alone.
I often say you didn't try to correct her like, you lying. Well, nah, you're not supposed to tell her she lied. That's disrespectful.
But nah, I knew because, there's no way in hell that we just came out as slaves. That's pretty much what they're teaching right here.
What you said? Oh, okay. Okay.
That's all I said. Cause when I hit you with that, okay, if I hit you with that, all right, then that means I know you're lying.
Right.
And that means I know one or two things. You're either lying, you don't know what you're talking about, or both. If I hit you with that, all right, then, that's a telltale sign right there. All right, then. Let's leave it at that.
Well, you can't tell me nothing. Well, here's the big story today. I left this one for last because I know this is going to blow some heads, because when I read it and saw it, you could have called me Carrot Top and my head exploded.
Hold on. Before you start that story, I know where you're going with it too. Hold on. Let me get these pictures queued up.
Okay. Because this story right here, I thought it was like something old. I thought, like maybe back in the 1800s.
Hold on. I got two of them, man. Let me get these queued up real quick.
I don't even know. It's like, but I just want people who call in, I want to get their opinion too, because
okay, go ahead. Continue. I got it queued up.
Okay. People are horrified by interracial couple's slavery-inspired wedding photo shoot. As you can see, there's a picture on the screen. It went away. But there was a picture on the screen of a young man with shackles on his arms, on his wrist.
Let me put it back up there.
He just looked battered and tattered like an actual slave. And this is their engagement pictures. And this is what it says. An engaged interracial couple did a pre-wedding shoot inspired by slavery. The shocking photo was initially posted on Instagram, though it was unclear why they belonged to even put that after that. So I guess they was proud and think about it. But it appears to be that they took the pictures on a sugarcane plantation. I didn't even know we still had one of those around. Woo. But this is what the young lady said.
Clear your throat. You can't even get it out.
So she started reading a little storyline, how they fell in love, blah, 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 blah. And she said, it reminded me of the 1842s. And after we discussed it, days passed and everything changed. Our love got stronger and stronger. He was no longer a slave. He was part of the family. So the sentiment of this picture, and the photo shoot features a black man, the fiance, in shackles, and him being eventually quote unquote released by his quote unquote slave owner quote unquote, which is his fiance. When I tell you this is some bullshit. Now, I don't know how many of y'all know, but me and Reggie is planning to get married.
Right.
God said the same February 22.
Right.
If this try to even say, let's take some plantation pictures, it won't be no wedding. Y'all be going to a funeral. Love him to death. Love him. He's the best thing in my life. The love of my life. My soulmate. But boy, if you ever. But in my heart, I know you won't do that because you're strong.
Hell yeah. So,
well, what if I ask you? What if I say, this is my fantasy, that you dress up like a slave? The house nigga. I worked in the house and you worked in the fields, and I want us to take our photo. Boy, no. Don't even worry about it. When you ain't got an answer, that ain't gonna never happen. Never, 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 ever, ever, ever. Well, who was
Now-
that song? Never, 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 never. What's that? Under 3,000.
Ever?
Ever, ever. No,
Ever,
no.
ever. Let me tell you something.
This is ridiculous.
Let me say this real quick. And I wish to God, Marvin, dude, man, if you are on here, please acknowledge it. Leslie, if you're on here, please acknowledge this. Let me just say this real quick. Obviously, it was her idea. Now, my question is, why did this coon ass mother? Why did he go along with this?
And in the words of Betty Wright, he just smiling and grinning, boy.
Dude,
He making his woman happy. She wanted to.
I don't give a damn.
See, y'all look at it as something else. They look at it as just a basic photo shoot on a sugarcane plantation with shackles on.
Man, let me tell you something. I love you to death. You have a really bad habit of trying to sugarcoat everything.
I be trying to play devil's advocate,
But
because
here's the thing. There's no advocation for this. Okay? Just because you sprinkle sugar on shit doesn't mean you can call it chocolate ice cream. Okay?
it's still
It's still shit.
it's just icy shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and this right here. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody dating or marrying someone outside of their race.
Absolutely
More
not.
power to you.
No.
Whoever makes you happy, that's your
Yeah.
business. I'm glad you're happy. But this right here, I'm going to quote you. This is some bullshit right here. Now, before we started the show, I called my mother and told her about this story. You heard what her reaction was.
I don't even understand.
Now, I have quite a few friends that have married outside of their race. Real close friends. Leslie's one of them. Marvin, my man, has several. Has two biracial children, two biracial sons. Okay, and I've dipped into the biracial pool myself once or twice. Not bragging about it, but hey, it is what it is. Now, again, I don't have an issue with someone dating or marrying outside of their race. Whoever makes you happy, knock yourself out.
Definitely.
I'm not against that at all. But I refuse to degrade myself and my people for anyone. I don't care who you are. It's not going to happen. And it's like you said before, you damn right, I'm a proud black man. Very proud of who I am. And I'm not going to compromise that for nobody. For no woman. I don't care what she can do in the bedroom. I'm not going to degrade myself for nobody. It ain't that damn good. I can find another woman.
Hey, wait a minute. No, I'm just playing.
Not you, baby. Not you. You good.
But my question is, okay, so the two people in the picture, so I'm assuming there has to be a photographer. Did nobody stop the thing, be like, you think that's a good idea? You think that's gonna be okay?
Obviously, my man don't have no black friends. I'm just going to guess and say he don't have any black friends.
Very good point. Very good point. But I don't know. This is supposed to have been on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
You
and
should have seen.
It got over 1,400 people. Liked
You
it.
should have what? Liked it?
Liked it.
Oh my God! I bet most of them are white. Cause I seen some of the comments some of the brothers have put up there, like, brother, for real?
And there's several other pictures, like one of the pictures where he's on his knee kissing her hand, and then there's another picture where I think she's like unlocking the shackles.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was gonna post that one up, but I actually forgot to post these up. I should have had these up before, but I forgot to post these up because I was gonna post these up so people could actually see them. So that's the only one I have posted right now. So with that one, this one will have to suffice. But like I said, black people, I'm gonna talk to let me turn the music off real quick. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna talk to my black family real quick. Let me tell y'all something right now. If I see anybody that I know doing some shit like this right here, I'm gonna pull their coat. I'm gonna say, look here, brother or sister, this ain't the move. There's nothing cool about this. You got to understand the symbolism of this whole situation. Just like Paul said in the chat room, you got to understand the symbolism of what's going on here.
What do you think it is, though? What is the symbolism?
The symbolism is very simple. I'm setting you free, black man. That's what the symbolism is.
You don't think he caught that?
Obviously, he didn't, because he agreed to it like a dumbass. And yeah, brother, I'm calling you a dumbass.
I'm just appalled.
How cooned out? Do you have to be to accept a photo shoot for a slavery scene as like just like this one?
Or maybe he's like a lot of these other black people, like your Candace Owens and your Clarence Thomas, I'm sorry, who think slavery never happened, like slavery wasn't a bad thing.
Well, that's why they're put in that coon category. That's why the Clarence Thomases and the Candace Owens and the Jesse Lee Petersons and the Larry Elders and the Allen West and the Herschel Walkers are put in that coon category.
It's disgusting. It's just like, what audacity would that be to even think that this would be a good thing to post, especially to Twitter and to Facebook,
where it's all over social media and people are going to clown your stupid ass for this dumb shit.
Excuse me, y'all should just did that and kept that in y'all personal photo album.
Man,
But the thing she said, our love got stronger and stronger. He was no longer a slave. He was part of the family. What
like I said, this is her idea. This lets me know flat out this is her idea.
And then the clothes and
they got authentic with this shit.
They went right.
They went for the
into
juggler.
Character.
Yeah, they went for the juggler, the shackles and every damn thing, bruh.
Okay. Well,
this is her idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is her idea.
Well, that was a bad one because
a very bad one. This was just flat out stupid.
I'm just dumbfounded. I saw this. I was like, this gotta be a joke, right? Ain't this from like the 19? This is here in 2021.
This is 2021. This is a recent photo shoot.
Yeah. And they think it's a good idea. Godspeed. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Well, okay.
So they just don't look bad for him. It look bad for her too, because now people go think. To me, I'd be like, oh, she want a black man now. She want a slave. Oh, okay.
Now, if you're a white woman that likes to partake in the soul pole, that's your business.
Absolutely.
You know.
But do he got to be a slave though?
But you know, I mean, but bruh, come on.
But yeah, so on to today's topic.
Yeah.
Because this right here is just, I've lost my mind with this one.
Yeah.
Could this be insurrection?
No, that's just stupidity right
that's
there.
That's just stupidity.
No, that's just being a coon right there. That's all that is. That's just being a coon. That's all it is, just being a coon.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey, if you want to be a coon like that, bro, knock yourself out. You know, hey, that's your business. I don't care.
Even if it was a funny ha-ha moment. That's not
funny ha-ha my ass. Shit.
Ain't nothing funny about that.
Ain't nothing funny about that bullshit. The stupid bastard. But anyway, on to the topic.
Okay, today's topic is insurrection.
Do you have a definition for an insurrection?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Insurrection, a violent uprising against an authority or government.
Okay.
A violent uprising against an authority or government.
Okay. All right. So what happened in January was definitely an insurrection. Okay. Now, these insurgents, which is where the word comes from, these insurgents, as far as I know, I think only a handful of them have been brought to justice and whatnot, if any. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee you that they won't get very much time, if any.
Well, speak of, it's one today that went to court today.
Yeah.
And he's representing himself today.
Really?
And he bust out in the middle of the court proceeding and said,
I gotta hear this.
Stop it! Just cancel the whole thing. And just give me probation. It ain't even that bad.
So, let me get this straight. He committed an act of treason, which is basically what this is. I don't care how you slice it. This was an act of treason.
Yeah.
Because anytime you go against your own government for whatever reason, that's considered treason, and treason is punishable by death.
Definitely.
So you commit an act of treason, and you think it's okay?
Well, I don't think a lot of people is looking at it like that. They looked at that they was trying to defend Donald Trump honor because supposedly, quote unquote, y'all stole the election from him.
I didn't steal anything.
He won and y'all stole it from him.
Well, okay. If you feel that way, then go back to the voting polls. That's what you do. I mean, me personally, I didn't vote at all, so I don't. It is what it is.
To me, it's just a sad state of affairs. To me, it was just a mutiny about these people. They had like this little private email thread, and they got all these people together and say, hey, we gonna meet up on January 6th. And my thing is, no one still have not said what was supposed to be the final outcome. What was the final outcome of all that?
The result of that whole situation was someone lost their life. Was it, or how many people were lost their life? Was it 2?
It was 5. I know 3 of them were officers.
Yeah.
But that's what my question is. So once they stormed the Capitol, y'all got in there. What was the end? What were y'all looking for? What were y'all trying to do? What is it?
What was supposed to have been the end result? In other words,
that's what I'm saying. What was it? Couldn't have been there. Y'all weren't trying to go in there and kill nobody, were you? But even though y'all was trying to kill Pence and kill Nancy Pelosi, so maybe you were looking to kill somebody. But why though? Because Trump lost by a couple of votes. And just like, you keep winning in this game, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
That's exactly it. I mean, the thing of it is, this whole insurrection thing, and this is the first time that this country has been the privy of an insurrection. Let's go back to history. Like I said, Civil War, that was an insurrection when we get technical about it. Because the people in the North told the people in the South, look here, let your slaves go or at least pay them. And they were like, wait a minute, hold on. Why should we pay somebody to do the same thing we can make our slaves do for free?
Right.
Nah, we're not going to do that. And so they went against the government. That's treason, last time I heard. So, but anyway.
The biggest one I can remember is Wilmington in North Carolina. That was sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like the same scenario that happened in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this one in Wilmington was worse.
They
pretty much went and just stole it. They didn't care who they killed, who they offended. They just went and just like, y'all are living too good up here. We just gonna buy. And just stole it. Yeah. So in a form it caused a race riot, which was so crazy.
Right, it did. But those situations are tragic, no matter how you slice it.
Definitely.
The Civil War was tragic. But what was tragic? It was an insurrection, to be honest with you. You want to get technical about it? The Tulsa incident was an insurrection, and like you said, the Wilmington incident was basically an insurrection because they were actually going against the government when they attacked those cities, and because those cities and those areas were no violent acts being committed against anyone. They were just living prosperously. And that jealousy and that green-eyed monster jealousy came out. And once that came out, all of a sudden, boom, here we go. Let's tear this shit up.
There was another one that I heard of that was just it's unfathomable that people can actually feel like that they can get together in a group of people and storm your situation and either burn it down, kill you, try to take it from you. Is that what we do here? Is this what I thought this foundation of this country was built on? Something more prevalent for everybody. You mean like
democracy?
How is it that I thought we was all created equal? What was your first screen up saying indivisible? Isn't that the word they use these days? Right.
One nation under indivisible.
Yeah. But then you storm a nation and do stuff like this.
Well, you have to look at it like this. Look at it from this perspective. Okay. When this country was founded.
Oh, say it again.
Okay. When this country was, I'm sorry. Did I mess up? I'm sorry. When this country was founded, it was founded for white people by white people. We were brought here to do one thing and one thing only: work. Work our asses off for no pay.
Nothing.
That's what they wanted us to do. Okay, so once we did that, and we got tired of working our asses off and not getting paid for it, all of a sudden that became a problem.
Yeah.
The KKK is formed to keep the niggas in check.
But did they not think eventually one of us was gonna buck the system and wake up? Did they think all of us would be like, yes, a boss, no, a boss? All of us gonna stay like that?
There are some that did do that. There are some that did that did the very same thing that you're talking about.
But it's one that woke up. They should have been ready for that one. They should have been ready for that one. I'm sorry.
Well, think about this. All throughout history, slaves don't want to be slaves no more, especially when they're being brutalized. Now, see, chattel slavery, as we know it here in the United States, that was horrific. That was... The United States was like one of the first countries, if not the first country, to have chattel slavery in place, where they treated their slaves just like animals. Okay? Now, in every other culture, slaves were slaves, but they were free to practice whatever religion they wanted to practice. They were free to even get educated. But the United States chattel slavery, or antebellum slavery, as it's also called, they strip you of every piece of humanity that you ever had.
And kept you in bondage.
And they kept you in bondage. That's exactly right. They kept you in bondage.
And again, I asked, what were you scared of? You didn't think I was able to leave your plantation, go to my own land, and then come back and do work again the next day?
They didn't want
you
that to
didn't think
happen.
I can do that?
Well, see, they didn't want that to happen. And that's why they had that, and that's why the Civil War was even brought about, because there were several slave rebellions out there, several of them, a bunch of them,
Definitely.
hundreds of slave rebellions. The most popular one is the Nat Turner Rebellion. Okay, so with that said, eventually slaves are going to stop wanting to be slaves, especially when they're being mistreated. Okay, so, and you also got to think about this: they justify slavery using what? The Holy Bible. So they figured, well, hell, the Bible said it was cool for us to treat y'all like shit, so I think it's cool. God ordained it, so but what they don't understand about the Bible is that they didn't actually read the Bible for what it was really worth.
They misread
the whole thing.
The whole thing, exactly.
Exactly.
Because I don't think, I know slavery was indignant, and don't get me wrong, I know that, but if they had more of a empathy with it, like, don't beat me, don't cut my feet off, don't rape my man, don't rape me, don't rape my children, just let me work for you, you give me a little wage every now and then, I think that would have worked out just fine, 'cause that's what we're going through now anyway.
Well, see, think about this, when the Africans okayed the fact that, okay, you can take these people over here, they were told, by the slavers that they were just going to only take them for a few years and bring them back. That was the original agreement. They call that indentured servitude. Now, the first group of slaves, and I don't know why white people keep on saying this dumb shit. The first group of slaves weren't really slaves at all. They were indentured servants. They came over here from Ireland and other places and from the jails and stuff like that, so they could work off of debt. Okay, they worked for 10 to 12 years and then they're set free. But they were set free or whatever. Okay, that's called indentured servitude. That means you serve for X amount of years and then you'll let go to do whatever hell it is you want to do.
Right.
Okay, now that was the original agreement for the slaves. That didn't happen. And once the slaves decided, you know what, we're tired of this bullshit, let's get the hell up out of here, and they started having those rebellions and stuff like that, that's when they started cracking down. And then when the slaves were actually freed, here comes the KKK to try to keep them in check, try to keep them scared. Because if you remember in that movie The Hateful Eight, Chris Mannix said this: when niggas are scared, that's when white folks feel safe.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah. So that's it. And so when the first insurrection happened, one of the first insurrections happened, which is the Civil War. That's pretty much what the premise behind the Civil War was about, was to keep the niggas in check.
Why the niggas though? Forgive me for saying it like that.
It's the truth.
But why the niggas though?
Why black people?
Why no other race was worthy of being that? No other.
Paul answered that question in the chat room. He said American greed. That's the answer to your question right there. American greed.
But why off our backs? Why off black people back?
Well, think about this. The first stocks exchange on the New York Stock Exchange were black people.
That's right. That Wall Street. I remember what was that when we looked at that Wall Street was where they used to.
Right. Wall Street was it. Yeah. Wall Street was it.
Exchange the
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wall Street was it.
Yeah. And even still to this day, it's still going on to this day.
Right. I mean, insurrections are going to happen. We're going to see some more insurrections. I can promise you that. This ain't the first one. I mean, this is not going to be the last one. I can promise you that. Because as long as you got people out here that think that they're losing the country, and that's exactly what's going on here. They think they're losing the country. You're going to see more and more of this situation. It's not going to stop.
What's to lose?
They, and by they I mean racist white people, think they're losing the country because, or for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they just think they're losing the country. Who knows why they think they're losing the country? But if they're losing it, who the hell is winning? The damn sure ain't us.
You know what I heard? I always listen to podcasts throughout the day, and did you know in 2045, which is really not that far away?
Nope.
Even though white people, I don't know why they feel like they're not a color or a race, because they white people will be considered a minority.
Yeah. Well, think about this.
That's
already
like 24?
Yeah, just a few years from now.
24 years from now, they'll be considered a minority.
Yeah, that's why they're scared now. White people are actually scared that they're going to be completely obliterated, and that's the reason why they don't like black men in general. And that's the reason why they keep pushing the gay agenda in the black community, because two male entities can't reproduce, neither can two female entities. That's why they keep pushing the narrative, right? That whole gay narrative in the black community so that's to stop us from reproducing. Because
cool and it's okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's why, and that's the reason why they keep on pushing that. That's the reason why they keep pushing it. Okay, and with that being said, that's the reason why they don't like black men, because black men have the ability and the equipment to wipe them completely off the planet. They're scared of that, because you got to think about this. White people are only 1/5 of the world population.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
I what's that old saying? Only take one drop of black blood.
That's it.
So good luck with that. That's all I gotta say.
Think about this. 8 times out of 10, if you have a black person and they have a child with a white person, that black gene is gonna dominate. Because if you look at Marvin's children, his sons, even though they're half white, you just swear there's light-skinned black people, because they got the kinky hair, the whole nine.
Yep, most do.
Yeah,
you'll rarely find someone that's mixed with black and white that have straight, natural.
It's very rare. It's very rare. It happens, but it's rare. That sometimes those recessive traits will take form. And that's the reason why white folks are pretty much scared here in the United States, is because they're scared they're going to get wiped out, which it's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's happening right now, just like you said.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, that's why you're going to see more and more insurrections, because they're scared. That's why they're trying to create honorary white people within the Asian community and the Latin community.
Honorary
white people, because for some dumbass reason Asians hate black people too, and we ain't never done shit to them.
Made them rich.
Exactly. This is all we've done.
We drive their cars, Lexus.
We drive their cars. We go see their movies.
Hair.
We go to
makeup.
Exactly. Because you go to a black neighborhood right now, you go to a beauty supply house. Who's sitting up there behind the counter?
Liquor store.
Corner store.
We've made them rich. Yeah, the little, what they call it, the bodega.
Yep, the bodegas and stuff like that. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Now you go to an Asian neighborhood. Do you see a barbecue joint anywhere?
Hell no.
Do you see a black barber shop anywhere?
Okay, when we go through Oklahoma, they have what's that you call it, Koreans. They have their own little towns within a town.
Yeah, the Asian district, right?
They have their own little, and they have that here. It's called Korean town. They have they have Korean town, Asian town, like on some parts of North Dallas, on both sides of the street. I think it's either Greenville Avenue or one of the streets. Jamaican clubs, Jamaican restaurants, hair braiding. So it's just, I don't know. It's just us as black people. We need to get it together.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we can do to change it or to make it better. I really don't.
Well, there's too many. Well, the first thing that black people need to do, is we got to get our economic base together. Okay, if we can go out and spend $200-$300 on a pair of athletic sneakers and we don't play one lick of basketball, we can take that $200-$300 and invest in ourselves.
True.
But that's not going to happen, because the first thing we start talking about stuff like that, the first thing you said, man, I can't do it. Okay, but you can go to the club and make it rain on these hoes, right?
Yeah. Make it rain.
But you can't do it. All right, I got you, bro. So, and I hate to say that about black people, but it's the truth. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
We're guilty of it. I'm not gonna sit up in front like I don't. I do. We all do. We all have, But to make it so punishable upon us, that's the part that's kind of hard to reckon with, because it's like we're out here trying to do the same thing. We're trying to survive. We're trying to have our own. We're trying to be business owners, entrepreneurs, land owners, CEOs, EFO, everything. But don't knock us because we are, and don't burn down when we accomplish something. That's just wild and inconsiderate, really. I don't get it.
Paul just told us to stop making sense.
I wish we had a bigger someone else can hear it, because like if I'm not even in politics, really learning along the way as I go in my older years here, and these people done studied politics backwards and forward, why can't they see what we see?
Because
or why don't they get it what we trying to get to?
Well, because a lot of politicians are bought and paid for by somebody other than black people. That's the reason why.
So that means you'll do anything for a piece of change.
Pretty much. Do something strange for a little bit of change. Exactly. That's exactly it. But like I said, once they get their economic base taken care of, we can tell these politicians, okay, you go do what we tell you to do, because we the one putting you in office.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, then we're gonna take your ass out of office. By holler at you, you get somebody else to do what we're gonna tell them to do, because we're paying you to do this. So if you notice, a lot of these politicians, what they're out here doing, they do stuff for the alphabet folks, because the alphabet folks put money in their pocket.
Oh yeah.
They do they do stuff for the Asians, because the Asians put money in their pockets.
Definitely.
That's why the Asian bill got passed so quickly, because the Asians put money in their pockets. So until black people get it together and say, hey, we need to put some money in somebody's pocket so they can go ahead and push our agenda, then we'll get something done. But again, that's not going to happen.
And how long is that?
And I hate to say that shit. It's not going to happen.
It's been 400 plus years now. So.
Exactly. Now in the 60s it could have happened, because at that time, before they killed Malcolm and Martin, black people were on code.
Were they real? Well, yeah, we were. We were.
Oh yeah, we were on code.
We were strong and mighty.
Exactly. Yeah, we were on code, and we could have got anything we wanted at that time. So that's why J. Edgar Hoover put that COINTELPRO out there and took out Malcolm first, because Malcolm was just like, hey, I ain't Martin. I ain't gonna turn the other cheek. And then once Martin started talking to Elijah Muhammad, he had several meetings with Elijah Muhammad. Once he started talking to Elijah Muhammad, started trying to get together with him, they said, wait a minute, we got to kill this nigga. And they killed him. And after that, and with the way things are going, if you're from the country, you know that if you kill the head off the snake, it's just a matter of time before the body dies too.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what they did, because like our snake had two heads. We had Martin on one side, Malcolm on the other. They cut off both heads.
And then we didn't have
and their body died. And the body of the snake died.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Instead of us looking to be independent, we started looking for integration, which was one thing that Martin figured out was the wrong thing to do. And once he figured that out, he's like, wait a minute, okay, all right, he figured it out now. We got to take him out, and that's exactly what happened to Martin.
Wow.
Martin would probably still be alive today. Malcolm too.
Excuse me.
If those things hadn't happened, and there's no telling where black people would be at this moment.
I often wonder that, like, if we would have had them at least like another, at least to the 80s at least. Where would we be?
Oh my God.
Where would we be as a culture?
Oh man.
Will we be the dominant ones?
No, I wouldn't say dominant, because that's the one thing about black people. We never really want to dominate
but anybody. We wouldn't be the bottom of the totem pole though.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. See, and that's the
wonder
reason.
about that.
And that's the reason why white people are afraid right now, because they're scared that if black people quote unquote get on top, then we're going to do the same thing to them that they did to us. That's what they're afraid of.
I can see that happening. Can they do that now? Whenever you, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys, I'm suffering my allergies. But when you see a black person try to take an inch, all of a sudden they go and they hits are trying to bring, well, you know, he had a baby with this woman, or he used to do drugs. They come up with something negative to put to distort the narrative about this good, upstanding citizen everybody is looking to, and then they come with this bull, kind of like with Sha'Carri.
Yeah,
you know, I thought that was her, but that's not her. But I'm just using it as an example. But you know, whenever somebody get like a national platform and somebody's giving them more or less, for lack of a better word, praise, or gravitating toward them to maybe as okay, I see what they're saying, and maybe getting on board with their ideology, then all of a sudden, boom, something negative come about that person. Yeah, you know, that's not fair.
Yeah, because they tried to slander Martin. They shot that down. They tried to slander Elijah Muhammad. That got shot down as well. They tried to slander Malcolm, and Malcolm like, wait a minute, what you got on me? Right. So, you know, and you ain't got nothing on me. I know you don't. You know, besides the fact that I went to prison, that's all they got on. That's all they had on Malcolm. That's it. And they tried to actually to exploit that on Malcolm. Said, hey, Malcolm X is a ex-con, and people are like, so.
Not the first one, won't be the last.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's like, people are like, don't nobody care.
Right. Right. You ready to open up the phone lines? Get some opinions and some thoughts?
Yeah, let's go ahead and open these phone lines up. Let me get everything squared away.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read it too.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get these phone lines up.
Whatever you want to speak about. If it's not anything we talked about you want to bring up today, that'll be fine. Just speak your mind. This is an open platform for one and all. We do not have no judgment zone here. These are your melanated thoughts.
For real though, man. Hold on. Let me get this up and running real quick. Give me a minute, y'all. Okay. Give me a minute, because I had to do some adjustments with the Skype number. So we got it up and running. We're good now.
We good. Okay. This is the number 469-638-3459. Again, 469-638-3459. I really would like to hear from Leslie, because Leslie's from Alabama. I want to know, had he heard that story about the man calling that lady a house nigga?
Okay, let me do a test real quick, y'all. Give me a minute.
Yeah, that's just
Okay.
Can't believe that we're still having those kind of conversation on open platform as a council meeting.
Well, you gotta think about this. When you got racist white people in power, guess what's going to happen? Their racism is going to come out.
But I know you just want to prove it to everybody, but sometimes it's just better just keep that under the cover, sweep it under the rug. Everybody need to know you racist. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
Well, yeah.
Because you think you're doing something positive. Some people don't put up with that. Not at all.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because, like, you know, let me just say this real quick about racism. Racism is stupid anyway. It always has been. It accomplishes nothing.
I haven't seen anything that it has made prominent. I really haven't.
And you won't, because there's nothing positive about it.
Not at all.
So anyway, phone lines open, y'all.
469-638-3459. So what would you do? Like, you as a black man, you've done different all kind of black history study. You read your books, you do your due diligence. How do you feel about insurrection? What are your more compass thoughts of insurrection?
If there's an insurrection, hold on a minute. Oh, Paul's here. What's up, Paul?
Nothing much. How we doing tonight?
Oh, we're good, man. We are good.
Good to be good.
All right. So what's on your mind?
Make a couple points. I'm gonna make it short today, because I actually do want to see if Les calls in. Back on the comments. That train has sailed. It's being brought back up because of all the equality that's going on right now.
Okay.
I think the diversity in comics came from the storytellers and not what was actually putting down in the color of the comics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Regardless of what color or race a character is in the books, the actual stories are reflected in the culture of the actual artist that's doing the storytelling.
Okay.
As far as Haiti's concerned, I don't know if you saw my message or not. That entire thing stinks of misdirection. I mean, stinks of misdirection.
Oh, I agree with you. Kind of like a magician when they redirect your vision to do a magic trick. You're looking at one hand.
On watching the left hand,
Right.
And you don't see what the right hand is doing.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay. It honestly makes me think of the 90s and the Cold Wars.
Oh yeah.
Both of them. Nothing good's going to come of it. But on the other side of that coin, I don't know that we will ever be able to say, this is why we get this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
As for the dude in shackles, stupidity is not limited to race.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
We are our own worst enemy. And that's not a single race comment. You can say that about every race. Some are worse than others, some are better than others.
Yep.
But we are our own worst enemy. As a black race, like you were mentioning, Reggie, we spend most of our time putting money in other people's pockets, driving the rich cars, all the bling, high-dollar shoes, Gucci, the list goes on. And it's stuff that we don't need, we just want because we don't belong.
Right.
We want to belong.
Right. And I've said this on several podcasts before. The only reason why that we buy things like that is so we can look rich in front of other broke people.
I would rather have a vehicle that I know that I can repair than have a high-dollar vehicle that I got to spend even more money to get fixed.
Exactly.
Insurrection and all that fun jazz. It's not going to go away as much as we want to.
Of course not. Just like I said, this is going to be the last one, like I said before.
It's going to get quieter yet louder. Look at the scope of the little things versus the big things. Okay. The politician in the house maker race.
Right.
The white guy outside public property. And come on, dude. Really? All these little things that are testing that water so the big things don't have to.
Right.
Because if the big things test the water, then we go back to last year. And last year's already a current powder keg.
Right.
And that's what they don't want. So, but that's my 2 cents for the week.
That's enough, man.
Absolutely. 2 cents equals $5,000.
Come on now.
Good points. Very good points.
Real good points. Hey, and real quick, Paul, what's your schedule like for tomorrow? Oh, okay. All right.
Anytime after about 6.
After 6?
Yeah.
Okay, I owe you a phone call.
Sounds good.
All right, man. We'll get at you later.
All right.
Bye. Have a good.
Take care.
Have
All
a
right.
good night.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Cool. Very good points.
Yeah. Yeah, he brought some really good points. And you know, that's what's supposed to happen. I mean, because it's the truth.
But then it's sad though. We know that this not gonna be like you just sitting on pins and knees, just waiting for the ball to drop.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's really sad.
I agree.
Well, it was a good show.
Yeah.
Very good conversation about it. That you.
Oh yeah.
But we're living in a world where we're just waiting for another insurrection to come along. Hopefully, it won't be this bad as the previous ones.
Well, the very first insurrection was the Boston Tea Party. Let's just get that out the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first insurrection. You know,
And it was something like somebody's name, like Shay or what is it? Yeah, something like a Shay's Rebellion or something. It's like the Revolutionary War. Something relates to the Revolutionary War. So
Okay.
it's just something. Yeah, there's been several. I mean, like a lot of people think the one in January was the first one.
that was the first one. No. There's been several insurrections here.
Been several
And throughout history. And guess who started them all? White people.
And I was just been saying, each and every time it's because some white person
Didn't
didn't get their way,
Exactly.
and they just burn this motherfucker down.
Exactly.
Excuse my French.
No, it's the truth. You said, hey, she been hanging around me too long.
I know,
y'all.
right? I'm gonna have to stop hating around here. But that's their mentality, though. If I can't have my way, nobody gonna win, which is sickening, very sickening. But these are the days of our lives. Oh, that was a soap opera, wasn't it?
Yep.
But these are the days of our lives.
Paul brought up a really good point. Again, he said, for me, it's not just the pins and needles, it's a powder keg, and I have to judge how high I'm going to go up when it blows. And you're absolutely right. That's pretty much it. I mean, we have to take everything under consideration when it comes to this racial powder keg. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, Malcolm X said that years ago.
Right.
He said that decades ago. This is a racial powder keg, and it's going to blow up.
And I think he's doing a very good job
So
right now.
yeah, it's just a matter. I mean, the sparks are there. You know, just a matter of time when that spark seals those powder hit that powder cake, it's going to explode. And like I said, another insurrection is going to happen. We already know that.
Oh, yeah.
We're just waiting for it. You know, just waiting for it. So, but anyway, babe, really good show.
Definitely.
We didn't have very many posts in the chat room today, but that's okay though. But maybe they had something else to do. Hopefully they'll hear the recast of it, because I noticed that a lot of times people don't log in, but they go back and they hear the podcast.
I heard people, they tell me, I've seen that too. I heard that too,
Yeah.
Well, another firecracker.
Yeah, another good one, man. Another good one.
Good thoughts and some crazy current events. I'm still stuck on that one about them shackles. Now, you think they're going to have a big portrait of that made and hung up in their house? Put a nice, beautiful frame around it. Put it over the fireplace. You know what I'm saying? It's a conversation piece started up. Somebody called their hype, be like, so what is this? Those are our wedding pictures. Yeah.
Now, see, under normal circumstances, I would be the one clowning these people, but instead, it's my fiance, y'all.
I don't understand. I'm just like Paul. Stupidity comes in all shapes, forms, colors, creeds, whatever.
My goodness!
That was
man, this right here.
Keep it 100. What they say, keep 100. That was a hot ass mess.
You ain't lying, man. I'm
was
still
a
tweaking over that
hot-ass
myself.
mess.
I'm still tweaking off that myself. I wish Marvin was on here, dude. I know he would have something to say. Oh man, I wish Marvin was on here. But yeah,
I don't get it. I wish it's like when stuff like this happen, I wish I had that person's phone number, because I want to get it straight from the horse's mouth. What were y'all thinking? No disrespect, but what were y'all thinking?
I want to talk to him.
Especially him.
I want to talk to the brother. I just have to pull his coat. Come here, bro.
But like I said, he could be one of them foundational black people who don't think he's black. I know I'm black, but he act like a coon.
No, yeah.
Cool. I'm not gonna say that. He has coonish ways.
Coonish ways, my ass. That's flat out coonish right there. He done crossed the coon threshold with that one.
Yeah, he doing some stuff. Be like, In the words of The Rock, raise that old eyebrow.
Raise that old eyebrow, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna go ahead and say it in the words of Willie D. His mama should be embarrassed and his daddy should have pulled out.
Oh my goodness. So you said he never should have been born?
Shit. In a sense, yeah.
Without allergy like that, yeah, you're right.
Come on, man. Yeah, if I was cooning like that. But babe, let me tell you something. I'm just gonna be honest. Let me turn this music down real quick. If you ever see me cooning like that, you have the permission of not only me, but everybody in my family to slap the dog shit out of me.
No, I'm going to do you one even better. I'm going to go on and call Terrell because you done cracked up. I'm going to say, let's go on and admit him because this baby done cracked up and give me my bag of potatoes. Because I'm going to be the first one to commit you because I know you done cracked up.
Hell yeah.
Something happened. Somebody done put something in his drink. You done cracked up, baby.
For real, though.
Just keeping it 100.
But, man. Yeah. He has no black friends, obviously, man. They would have pulled his coat on that one. They should have anyway if they didn't.
Something.
So, but anyway.
All right, dear.
Good show, baby.
Absolutely.
Good show.
So always remember, guys, to subscribe. Alert.
Yes.
Notifications.
Yes.
Tell a friend.
Do all that.
We're here.
We are here.
We're here for the people.
We ain't going nowhere no time soon, y'all. So if you missed the live show, that's cool. Just listen to the rebroadcast of it. Trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Because so far, judging from some of the comments I've seen, we had a couple of negative comments, but I don't really care about those. Those are usually from racist white people. Because they start saying stupid shit like, what about black on black crime and shit like that. And I already know if they're white. If they're not white, there's some cooning ass black people, but that's okay though.
So there is no white on white crime?
Oh, thank you. That's the same thing I say. Yeah, I tell you what, I told them the same thing. I tell you what, I discuss black on black crime on my show when somebody discuss white on white crime on theirs.
Right. There's always one in the bunch.
Of course. So, but anyway, like I said, most of the comments we get are positive. I mean, every so often I see a negative one, but those are rare.
That's the premise of the show.
So, people, the ones that, they just skim by the show and say, hey, I like what you guys are talking about. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, babe, as usual, lovely show.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Feed the needy.
Once again, we'll come back next week with another good hot topic
yes,
for you. Yes,
indeed. Same black time, same black channel.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we get some of our regulars on here and we'll discuss a few things. But definitely, man, we're definitely going to get. I'm going to start a big advertising campaign here within the next few weeks, next week or two, so we can broaden our horizons and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm going to get some business cards made. I'm going to get some flyers made and stuff like that. And we're going to do this thing big, man.
Cool.
So
because it's needed. We need to discuss these things because you'll be surprised how many people just don't know.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of the show.
Just
to keep people informed. Because I hope that I tell somebody something that's educational. I don't want to just put some BS out there. I guess that's the main reason why I don't do celebrity gossip and shit like that. Because that's not, to me, that's not educational. Don't nobody give a damn about what Cardi B is talking about.
You know what's the fun night you said? I know we shouldn't, but I'm just gonna say this. When I was looking at, I try, like I said last week, I do my homework, and in between that homework, I learned things.
Right.
The main topic that was on everybody's leading story was Keisha Cole's mother died.
And that's tragic. It really is.
That's all I just been saying.
It's tragic.
R.I.P. Miss Frankie.
Yes, indeed.
But was that the leading story in the world?
It shouldn't have been.
But every outlet that my normal hotspots that I normally hit, the leading story was Frankie passing away.
And that's sad.
And I know the way she passed because she's supposed to have died of an overdose on her birthday.
Right.
Like I said, R.I.P. Miss Frankie.
Was it her birthday or Keisha Cole's birthday?
It was her birthday. She turned 61.
Okay.
But my thing is, y'all not concerned about Haiti? We need to be concerned. You don't know what people are looking at. We could be trying to get something from Haiti, and somebody like a Russia can come up behind us and sneak attack us and blow us up as well.
Exactly.
We need to be trying to worry about stuff like that.
Right.
No disrespect to Keisha Cole's family.
No doubt.
Death is death. I just went to a funeral this past Saturday.
Right, she sure did.
But my thing is, was that the leading story? unemployment is high.
Yep.
COVID is running rampant.
No doubt.
Now they got another strain that they trying to figure out up there on Congress. Did you see how Fauci and I forgot the congressman going back and forth? They trying to see if it was made in a lab or not. We got things like that to worry about, you know. But again, no disrespect, rest in peace. But
well, it's already been. Well, see, I'm glad you brought up the whole lab thing, because it's been established that COVID was created in the lab. That's been established already. We know that the COVID-19 virus was created in a laboratory.
Well, now they're trying to say that it's out there in the air now. It's airborne.
Yeah, it is airborne now because somebody released it, and now there's Delta variant, which is another laboratory creation. So, okay.
Somebody calling?
Nah, I forgot to plug in my laptop.
Okay.
It's about to go dead.
All right, we're about to close out the show, but just think about it, guys. We bring you stories that we feel that'll be important, because it is important to let people know what's going on.
Exactly.
And what's this world is going through, and just good topics to talk about, because I want to know people's opinion about, like, for instance, this picture, this black man, beautiful couple. Like I said, we don't care who you marry, who you be with. But that's the premise of the picture, premise of what were you guys trying to do when you decide to do that? But
right.
All right, so let's close it out, dear.
All right, okay. Like she said, subscribe, hit the like button, hit that little bell, so you can. There you go, spread the word. So, but anyway, I'm Reggie.
I am Mimi the lady,
and we out, y'all.
Bye.